Hello and welcome to another Workman Wisdom. My name is Rick Geha and I'm excited today because this is a point that we're going to talk about today that I've been talking about for 20 years. It is something, by the way, that is spoken about by motivational speakers. It's in every personal development, professional development book you read, self-help. And it is a subject that comes up a lot in real estate, especially when you're building your business. And the subject is leadership. Now, I heard a quote once that said that the act of being a leader is anybody who has influence over anyone else anytime. So what does that mean? That means every single human being in the world, except maybe a newborn baby, is a leader. And a newborn baby obviously will soon have influence maybe over their little brother or sister. So think about that. Now, I've heard people say leaders are born, and I've heard other people saying leaders are developed. You know what really matters? In leadership, if you want to decide that you are going to become the best leader you possibly can, simple bottom line, not an opinion, a foundational truth is that you must learn to lead yourself first. And now, that subject is something that I could stand here and talk about without taking a breath for a good 3 hours. We don't have that kind of time. This is going to be about a 10 to 12 minute session. And what I'd like you to think about for a minute is, how am I showing up in life? Leadership's a big, big subject. And ladies and gentlemen, let's just for a minute put aside our businesses. A business is to create profit. That's why we do a business, is to create profit. The profit is supposed to be used to make a difference in the world. Making a difference in that world would always start with making a difference in your life. That's why we do business, right? There isn't a person in the world that I've ever interviewed that if they were independently wealthy, money was not an object, that they would probably not be out showing buyers property or listing people's homes. All right? So I want you to think about that for a minute. So leadership is a very all-encompassing subject, and understanding about leading yourself first is basically step one. So think about how you show up as you go through life. Ask people what they think of you. You're not going to really get a great, honest answer if you're doing it. Best thing ever is to have someone that you care about find out for you how you're showing up. You know, I was told once that if you ask a man's wife what he's like, you'll always get the truth. Now, bottom line is there is probably lots of evidence in your life based on your results as to how you're showing up. Are you caring? Are you compassionate? How's your energy level? Is it up? Is it down? All of these things lead to a reflection of who you are as a person. When I look at people's teams, my team, the teams of the real estate agents I coach, I always know that the people on the team and what's happening in the team is a reflection of the leadership capabilities of the team leader. Now you might say, well, I work alone in real estate, it's just me. What are your clients like? Your clients are a reflection of you and your leadership capabilities. What are the people that you surround yourself like? Are you around people that feel like they're grabbing your ankles and go, oh, Tom, don't go away and be more successful than me. Stay here near me, little old average me. What are you allowing yourself to be surrounded with? All of that, ladies and gentlemen, starts with leading yourself first. And I have to tell you that one of the things that was the most difficult for me, and I'm going to say this for a minute, that I was raised in a family, a Middle Eastern family, where you were taught to love everyone and care for everyone. Now, my parents never said, Rick, don't care for yourself. What they did say over and over again is make sure you take very good care of others, your family, your customers, the people you come in contact with. Treat them like family, love them, make sure you're taking care of their needs. So I was raised being one of those people that was a people pleaser. Now, even to this day, 36 years or more after selling my first house, I'm still a people pleaser. And yet I do have a more conscientious understanding of leading myself first, meaning that I refuse to surround myself with negativity. I pay very close attention to how I show up. Am I patient? Do I react unreasonably? All of those things, especially as it relates to your energy and how you show up, are a reflection of yourself and your leadership capabilities. Because, ladies and gentlemen, if you can't control this, you have no chance in the world of leading teams or becoming the leader you dream of becoming. People always say, well, I want to help others, and I'm going to go do this, or I want to help a charity or a nonprofit. God in the universe gave you a big enough project with you. Work on this one first. And it's got to start from inside. So what I like to say is this, that if I'm managing my energy level, if my energy levels aren't jumping up and down, if I'm not got a lot of highs and got a lot of lows, stop right there. If you do, you have to stop right there and say, how can I get that in check? Well, there's a lot of foundational rules around leading yourself first. And I'll tell you that I'm going to give you a couple of them. But like I said, this is a big subject, and it's intended for you to go out and read more. One of my favorite books as it relates to helping yourself get control of who you are, how you show up, and understanding yourself in a selling business like real estate is Og Mandino's book, The Greatest Salesman in the World. This is an incredible book, and I would urge you to have it with you all the time. It's a little paperback. It can fit in your back pocket, inside your jacket, in your briefcase. Have it wherever you go. Read it cover to cover. This will be a good foundational piece for you. Now, there's lots of other great books that you can read on leadership that actually involves leading yourself first. In fact, I've read over 20 different books myself that all work on that subject. But I will tell you that if you are not aware of why you react, if you're not aware of why your energy levels are up and down, what's causing this, what's it related to, then you're not going to be able to start working on those subjects. One of the things that I know for a fact is if I have a reaction in my mind, if I feel I'm getting upset or extraordinarily happy over a subject matter or something someone said, I know that I have to ask myself this first. Why am I having those feelings and those reactions? What is bringing those about? So when I see great leaders, I know this, that deep inside of them, they know that they are worthy, that they deserve the success they are creating in their lives. And when I've worked with people over and over again for years, more than 20 years of working deeply with people, I get that there's a lot of people who don't feel worthy. And that comes from something in your past. Again, a really big subject. So what I want you to start thinking about is this, that you are, as you stand here today listening to this, an amazing individual, that you have capabilities beyond your own beliefs or dreams, so big that you don't even know how big they are. And that as soon as you start to take control of leading yourself first, meaning learning, taking on the subject of reading books about personal development, about professional development, and being a great leader, then things will start to change in your life. I've heard so many in movies, I hear it from people all the time, people never change. Well, I'm going to tell you for a fact that you are very easily capable of changing, and this is how. First, you have to understand this. Old habits that may be what you called, quote unquote, bad habits. People call habits good, bad, right, or wrong. I'm going to tell you they're either effective or they're not. What do I mean by that? Your habit either helped you get to where you wanted to go or it didn't. That's it. So we don't have to have judgment words like good, bad, right, or wrong because those beat up on ourselves. Let's just say, I know for a fact in a good portion of my life, I've had habits that weren't effective for the results I was hoping to get. Make lots of money, work few hours, have great relationships in my life, and really, really create a difference in my life and the lives of thousands and hundreds of thousands of people around the world. So if that's my ultimate dream, then I have to be an example of that. So for instance, lying, cheating, stealing, doing things that we know typically are not in alignment with the words coming out of our mouth. So when our actions and our words align, we start becoming the true leader that we are. So think about it, what I was saying about habits. I had a lot of ineffective habits. Those habits actually, ladies and gentlemen, never go away. They stay inside you. What you do is when you start seeing things you really want and you start to slowly, you'll stand up straighter, you'll be more proud of yourself because you're developing more effective habits towards those goals. I'll give you an example. I generally used to weigh about 30 pounds more than I do right now. So in 2011, I read a book. I changed a lot of things permanently, habits that were ineffective. I created effective habits that got me these great results. And when those results start really coming around, you start smiling more and you go, wow, I really like those results. So they keep you concentrating on the effective habits because of those results. Those ineffective habits are still in there. I still love my glazed donuts, believe me. And yet I know that I cannot have them at the level I had them before, or it's like reverting back to ineffective habits. What is that glazed donut for you? What's your glazed donut? And I ask people this all the time. So I want you to think about this. I want you to think about what habits do you absolutely know that people have been telling you your whole life. One of the ones for me, besides glazed donuts, is people that know me really well say that I lack patience. I used to say, what? I'm the most patient person I know, right? Well, therein was the evidence that I wasn't. So I would ask people, could you catch me in that act and say, Rick, you're doing it again. Your eyes are getting really big and you're getting impatient and you're yelling out. Those are the things that you have to do. You have to be willing to listen openly to feedback without starting to defend yourself or feel like it means you are less than or not worthy. These are subjects. These are a lot of subjects I just gave you on leading yourself first. And I'm going to tell you, anytime you're upset, anytime you're happy, anytime you're frustrated, those are all coming from within you, not because of what someone else did. Take responsibility for your life. Start to lead yourself first. Seek wisdom in this subject, ladies and gentlemen, because this subject is more important than anything else I can ever tell you for you to have everything you ever wanted in your life. Hope you enjoyed our Workman Wisdom Point. I'll talk to you soon.